Hello, friends. This is Professor Googlov. Today's video will be a little unusual, but I'm sure you will like it. So, get comfortable and let's go. Expansion, by Paige Bradley. This stunning statue was created using bronze, mixed materials, and electricity, and you can see it for yourself if you visit New York. The statue depicts a woman meditating in the lotus position. Initially, the artist created the sculpture of a naked woman from wax but dropped it on the floor. This is how Paige got the idea. Pieces of the sculpture were then cast in bronze and assembled in such a way that they appear to float separately from each other. The sculptor said, "If we could break free from our shell, from our limitations and attachments, we would see the world differently and discover our true selves." This is the peculiar irony of a protective shell. Until we press against it from the inside, we won't know how strong we really are. One of the interesting features of the expansion statue is that it is an example of the Western approach to the Japanese art of kintsugi or kintsukuroi. This is a Japanese art of restoring ceramic pieces using lacquer mixed with gold, silver, or platinum powder. The idea is to break the piece and then make the repair a part of the object. Essentially, the sculptor did the same thing, but with the use of electricity. The Sinking Building, by Petrus Spronk. The State Library in Melbourne, Australia was already a historical landmark before the sculpture's appearance. The sculpture, The Sinking Building, gave people another reason to visit the library. The sculpture represents a corner of the library protruding from the ground. It was created by the city as part of an art program. The fate of the sunken library is connected with a line from Arthur Miller's play, The Crucible, which tells of the trial of Salem witches. At one point, a character exclaims that the box of books is very heavy, and he is told that it is because of the weight of knowledge. One interesting feature of the sculpture is that it is associated with a city legend that was told in libraries around the world. In the original story, the library collapsed under the weight of knowledge. This stunning sculpture was created by Petrus Spronk and is one of the many tourist attractions in the city. The sculpture was installed in 1993. Some believe that it symbolizes the fall of civilization. The Guan Yu Statue. The majestic statue of Guan Yu, a famous Chinese military commander who became a deity after his death, is one of the largest and certainly one of the heaviest statues. The statue weighs over 2,866,000 pounds. Such weight can be compared to that of 6 fully loaded Boeing 747 airplanes. The statue is located in the Jingzhou district and towers over the water, eclipsing the surrounding areas and city buildings with its figure. The height of the statue is 187 feet. More than 4,000 bronze strips were required for its construction. Guan Yu was known for carrying a weapon, the Green Dragon Crescent Blade, and of course, the 300,000 pounds version of the blade as a part of the statue. The statue was created by Chinese artist Han Meilin, who also designed the mascots for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Interestingly, there is a lot of space inside the statue. Architects managed to fit an 86,000 square feet museum inside the statue. Les Voyageurs, Haute Bruno Catalano, Bruno Catalano. The sculpture, Les Voyageurs, The Travelers, is located in the French city of Marseille and was installed here in 2013 in honor of the city's recognition as the European capital of culture. The author created 10 bronze travelers of human height, which can be found on the Marseille waterfront. All sculptures are missing body parts, but it doesn't look scary, on the contrary, it is beautiful and mesmerizing. Bruno Catalano, who was born in a Sicilian family in Morocco, became a sailor, moved to France, and then became interested in art. Most of his works, including the sculptures of travelers, were created by the master inspired by his own travels. Each statue holds a suitcase in its hands, which both burdens and supports it. The missing parts of the sculptures allow viewers to use their imagination and fill in the missing details. Popped Up, by Irvin Laurent Hervé, is a huge work of art made out of polystyrene. Currently, the sculpture created by the artist Irvin Laurent Hervé is on display for the public in Budapest, Hungary, against the backdrop of the Four Seasons Hotel. The artist was already known for creating complex works of art. The sculpture is located right by the Danube River. It was first presented at an art fair in Budapest in 2014. It looks incredibly realistic, as if the statue raised the grass and emerged from under the ground. If you want to see this wonder in person, it's better to go there at night, as the sculpture looks especially impressive in the darkness. During the day it is also beautiful, but at night it is simply stunning. It is best to see the sculpture both at night and in daylight. Diminish and Ascend, by David McCracken. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. A line from the song, Stairway to Heaven, by Led Zeppelin. Well, since we can't buy a stairway to heaven, we can settle for the artwork of David McCracken. The sculpture is located on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. The artist used perspective to create the illusion of an ascending staircase. It looks like the steps really do disappear into the sky. However, one should not try to climb it as each step is smaller than the previous one. The structure itself is made of welded aluminum. The staircase was first presented at an outdoor sculpture exhibition in Sydney. After the sculpture was unveiled on Bondi Beach, it was relocated to the Christchurch Botanic Gardens. The artist said he used a technique employed by Lewis Carroll in puppet theaters, where the main character becomes smaller and smaller. Despite not fully realizing his idea, he still created an amazing work of art. Nelson Mandela statue by Marco Cianfanelli. Here is another amazing work of art that plays with perspective. If viewed from the wrong angle, it's just a pile of columns. An interesting trick that can make viewers think. The sculpture was created by South African artist Marco Cianfanelli, who has worked on numerous projects, creating art, architecture, and installations in public spaces. The artist uses a variety of approaches and methods in creating his works, including computer calculations. Can a sculpture designed on a computer be considered art? We think that's not important. Just look at it. The Nelson Mandela statue was created in 1962 to mark the 50th anniversary of his arrest by the South African police. The statue's highest point is 30 feet tall. The entire structure consists of 27 columns, symbolizing the 27 years Mandela spent behind bars. The Apennine Colossus, by sculptor Giambologna. This incredible statue was created in Tuscany, Italy. Although it's more of a geographical feature than a statue. The great sculptor Giambologna presented his creation to the world in the late 16th century. The idea was to create an image of the Italian mountain range, the Apennines, Appennino in Italian. The sculpture depicts a mountain god named Appennino. The statue has a secret. Inside the giant work of art are several rooms, each with its own purpose. For example, one of them redirects water from an underground stream and channels it into a pitcher held by Appennino. The statue is over 32 feet tall. It's definitely worth visiting this place. If you're lucky, and if the rumors are true, you can even see smoke coming out of the statue's nostrils when there's a fire burning in one of the rooms. Salmon Sculpture by Keith Jellum. Portland, Oregon can be easily recognized by the salmon sculpture protruding from the wall of a building. And it looks really realistic, except that it's many times larger than any real salmon. The sculpture was hand-forged from bronze by local sculptor Keith Jellum. The sculpture is 10 feet long, but despite its size, many tourists don't notice it because the salmon is located on the 3rd floor. If you don't look up, you can easily walk past it without noticing the masterpiece. However, it's easy to find if you follow the smell of salmon. The sculpture is located on a seafood restaurant building, which is located on Salmon Street. Yes, the sculpture is made of bronze, but you can't hide from the fishy smell here. Well, as I promised, the video was interesting. So, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.